Welcome, welcome, welcome to D. Holloway's MetLife Takeover, where it's never too late to get your money straight. So a lot of people want things in life, but most people don't want to take the chances to go and achieve things in life. They either wish for things to happen, pray for things to happen. Some people just let things happen to them. But I'm here to tell you that that ain't going to work, because sometimes you just got to get out and you got to try shit. So what do I mean by trying shit? What I mean is that you're going to educate yourself, and you're going to go out and you're going to take calculated risk to go out and achieve the goals that you set for yourself or the future that you envision for yourself. Like I mentioned earlier, you're never going to achieve anything of significance if you don't go out and try stuff. You're going to end up living this boring, mundane life where you're just watching everybody else achieve their goals, and you're going to say, I wish I could have done that, when you had full opportunity to do it. I know this because I was once that person. I was that person because I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to risk my money. I was afraid to expand myself beyond my comfort zone. But I've broken out of that mold, and I've been able to achieve some goals that I set for myself, and I have a lot of other goals that I'm working on achieving. And it's all because I decided to try something. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're going to be a success just because you try something. No, there's a great possibility that you're going to lose some money. There's a great possibility that you might fail. There's a great possibility that you might disappoint some people, but you can't worry about that stuff. What you got to do is focus on your goals and doing the things necessary to achieve your goal. So to personalize this for you, I want to talk about a recent event in which I tried something new, and we'll talk about how that turned out. So I decided to start a business based on the interest that my wife had. See, my wife is an outdoor person. She likes camping and all of this good stuff, right? And she would rent RVs and take the kids on trips and stuff like that. A couple of times she rented an RV, and we would just go to a local state park and hang out. And to my surprise, what I found was that, man, that was super relaxing, and I enjoyed it. Now, that didn't make me want to, have a RV of my own or anything like that. But I asked her, how much did you pay the guy to rent this thing? And she was like, I think it was somewhere between like $800 to $1,000. And I'm thinking, $800 to $1,000 for like roughly 2 days? So my brain started turning like, man, I wonder if I can start a business around renting out RVs. And knew nothing about RVs, but I figured, hey, if somebody's paying $800 to $1,000 for a couple of days, then let me take a shot at this. So I set off on the journey to learn all about the RV rental game, buying an RV, what type of RV to buy, and just all of the things that come along with owning an RV. So I did that, and I sat down and made a business plan of how I was going to make this work. And eventually I got to the point of buying an RV and bought all the necessary supplies and had the thing ready to be stocked up, got the RV listed on a couple of the platforms like RV Share and Outdoorsy, got it set up, took a bunch of nice pictures, wrote a good description, just kind of based off the training that I got from the platforms. And then eventually, after tweaking the pricing and everything to get it right, I started to get renters, and I got my first renter. Everything went well. They were very appreciative. It was just a 2-day rental, and I think I made about $500 or something like that. So it proved that, hey, this idea could actually work. If I was successful with this plan, my goal was to add another RV, but the first thing I wanted to do was to continue proving the concept that this idea would work. I got more renters and, for some longer trips. And what I found is that I kind of like the longer trips, because between a 7-day to a 14-day rental, man, I could make anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. That was pretty good money just for someone to be renting and driving your RV. Now, you have to make sure that you vet these people and that there are people that you are comfortable giving your expensive piece of equipment to. And that's exactly what I do. I have a very thorough process of vetting the person to, to become as comfortable as I can be with renting the RV to people. And so far, it has worked out great. The renters have been excellent. Here are the things that I didn't realize. I did not realize, despite, some of the videos that I saw early on that talked about, the level of maintenance on an RV, whether it's new or used, is very true. That RVs require a lot of maintenance, and there's just no way to get around that. For some reason, I guess it's the quality control that the manufacturers have is bad, but man, you're going to constantly be doing maintenance on these things. And it's not one of those things where you can just take it to the shop every time because, number one, the shop is going to have your RV for a long time. And number two, it's going to cost. So these little minor maintenance things, you're just going to have to learn to do them yourself. Now, great thing about it is that on YouTube, there's a ton of videos out there on fixing just about anything on an RV. And I've been able to fix a lot of the things on there to save myself some time and some money. But I can't lie, I am surprised at the level of maintenance that it requires, and I do not like that. The other thing that I didn't realize is that the amount of time and labor that you have to spend on this business, because, my family, they don't, have time to support me on this. So I'm kind of running solo with this. I have to be the person who arranges getting the RV clean. Now, I don't clean it myself. I have a cleaning lady, but I have to arrange it and make it available to her so that she can clean it. I have to make sure that it's stocked. I have to make sure that the tire pressure is proper. I have to make sure that all the different supplies and everything are on board the RV. I have to make sure it's fueled up. I have to make sure that the freaking window cleaner is full. It's just a lot of different things that you have to do to make sure that the RV is ready for a renter. I also have to make sure that I'm monitoring the platforms for anybody who's checking in on a rental. I got to respond to that person. I got to vet the person. Also, if I do book them, I have to make sure that I am the person who is going to educate them prior to the rental. And then I have to do the drop-off, instruct them on how to use the RV. Now, what I have done is created a demonstration library of videos on how to use the RV, things to how to use different features on the RV. And also, I send them videos on camp setup, how to dump, and things of that nature. I also have to make sure that I'm on call for any questions that the renter may have on their trip. When the trip is done, I got to make sure that I meet the person at the pickup location. I check in the RV, fill out any paperwork that needs to be filled out. I also do a walk around, make sure there's no damage. If there is damage, you'll have to file a claim and so forth. And then I pick up the RV, take it back home, and then I repeat that process to get ready for the next runner. Now, if I had an opportunity to go back in time and do this all over again, would I still start this RV rental business? And the answer is probably no. It's just because I don't like doing the maintenance on the RV. I don't really like, the labor part of it, the getting the RV ready and also doing the pickup and drop off. But it's not one of those type of side businesses where, you can hire somebody to do these things. It's just one of those things that you have to do yourself. And I'm not all that crazy about it. Now, I do like the fact that when the RV is on the road that, you're making, $200 a day, or if there's any add-ons that they purchased as well, that you're making money while the RV is off, with somebody else using it and it's not requiring any effort on your part. If I never tried this business, I also wouldn't have realized some of the benefits because my wife and I have been able to, make memories with the kids with this RV. She took a trip last year with the kids to Colorado to go skiing. We've taken a trip to see her family at their family reunion. We went to see her dad, in Pennsylvania. We went to see my mom where she lives. And so we've been able to make these trips with the RV, and it's been cool, having those memories with your family. Also, my 15-year-old son, he plays basketball and football. And for example, this past summer, he had multiple camps that he had to attend, and they were like all-day camps. So I was able to drive him to these camps, and I could hang out on the RV, do work or whatever I needed to do while he was at the camp. Also, he plays basketball, so they'll have tournaments at different places, and they might be all-day tournaments where there's multiple hours in between games. So my wife and I would go to his games, and we would take the RV, and then we could go out and work, nap, eat, whatever the case may be, while there are breaks in between games, and we didn't have to leave and drive back home and then drive back up to wherever he was having the tournament at. And in some cases, they're playing these tournaments, out of town. So it wasn't even an opportunity to go home. So the RV came in handy because we were basically at home out in the parking lot. And from a business perspective, I just became a better business person. I learned a lot more about customer service because you're dealing with a very different type of customer when you're renting out an RV. These are all skills that I can take into my rental business with property or house flipping, or I can use on my day job. So the moral of the story is that everything is not going to turn out to be great monetarily. Sometimes you might fail, you might lose money, or the idea just might not be as great as you thought it was going to be. But You have to be willing to step out and try things, because if you don't, you're never going to achieve anything. Even if your business idea does fail or doesn't go as planned, you're going to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and you're going to get used to going beyond your comfort zone. Not to mention, I know for me, for a fact, that my business acumen has been raised. I've become even more confident in myself in terms of stepping out and trying other things. And I'm just a better overall business person. So you know what that means. You're going to have to put on your big boy pants or your big girl pants, and you're just going to have to go out there and try. That's all I have for you today. If you got something of value out of this video, please like and share. But in the meantime, take care and be safe out here in these social media streets.